also recording on my desktop. Wait? Can the video shop like do multiple recordings? Anyway, that's distracting. But anyway, so yeah, that'll be Green and Blue. Green and Blue, of course, if you couldn't tell by the date, or the name, if you couldn't tell by the name or date, it is this channel, but in its full form. Yes, I'm going to pull a Bungie. I want to pull a Bungie. I mean, yes, it is foregone conclusion I will pull a Bungie. But I'm also going to pull a Bungie. I want to pull a Bungie. Yes. In other words, you want to say in order to make it not foregone conclusion. But anyway, all right. So yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, Green and Blue is pretty much. I also want to say, point out, talk about. Not really. Um, I guess what I was basically I was doing for the bios outside of the changers with the changers I wrote before I started writing this, because I could have done changers first, but I really wasn't in the mood to finish it. That was the changes were the first part of the faction bio, because I thought of them when doing the timeline. I'm like, oh wait, I want to do faction bios now. That'll help. But when I was doing those videos on the timeline overview and I wanted to do something different, I wanted to go over Grand Blue first, so I decided to knock out the faction bio for Grand Blue, and here we are. And yeah, that was pretty much done in a night. I did one more right before recording this for the Eastern Coalition, which I might as well just show you. I mean, there's no spoilers other than seeing that video, which I'm probably going to do next. But yeah, just a quick glimpse. You can pause it and read it. And here are the changers. I missed the changers a bit. Got down a format system. That makes sense to me. It's wait, you are. I'm using mobile mouse computer to record this because I'm not gonna. I don't want it to Windows 10. I really don't. I remember my flow, so I'm going to be editing on the mouse computer, and I might edit. I might edit on the mobile mouse computer and my phone. I can't do it on my Surface yet. The Power Dreamcaster, because they're not the program. But anyway, okay, we're almost up. We almost got 90 minutes. Well, that was yeah. I mean, I thought this was going to take longer, so that was going to be really short. But yeah, so Green and Blue, what is Green and Blue? Green and Blue is pretty much a maker corporation. Um, it it's a bigger corporation in which it is a democracy. It's a full-on democracy, where the people basically, it's a full-on democracy where the people vote. But there is a king in the form of me, the owner, because it's still a company. And then there's a council who is your like Senate, Parliament. I guess more like a Parliament than anything, because of course Britain doesn't have like the three forms of British government is the president, the Congress, and random person. Um, and to put it into U.S. terms, or as we know as the Prime Minister, Parliament, and the Queen or King. They're not too particular. Um, but yeah, So this is different because I think of Britain as more of as a flat out republic, whereas I think of America as a democracy that happens to have republic elements because democracies are very hard to work. Like imagine 2018, 2017 if America was a democracy. Yeah. Imagine a lot of periods in U.S. history if America was a flat democracy, didn't have a constitution. Um, so yeah, there's that. And I added one more to what I usually think of Green and Blue and it's a collective. I mean, it's a collective because you know everyone works together, which you'll see a lot of the factions are collectives in the sense there is some variation of a collective, and a collective to me is basically just a group of people working. You could call collectives a tribal system, or maybe um, a hippie system or even communism is a collective in the sense. But to me, a collective is separate. Like I don't think people really use collective in this way. I think when I think when I think of how the system works, how the unity works in real life, that's why I think by collective. It's almost synonymous with hive mind. Hive mind is a bit different. So basically, people working together. Like for example, not only Boy Scouts help old ladies cross the street. Everyone does it. Not only gentlemen help, open doors for people. Everyone does it. Essentially, that, like for example, if someone asks you for money because of what type of society Green and Blue is, they're not really going to question it. They're going to give you some money. Like in some places, and even in America, where I want $1. I mean, I need $1 for yada yada yada, and the person was like, "You're crazy for asking someone for $1." I'm like, "It's just I don't care." Yeah. I mean, and this place is totally not New York, not totally not. But yeah, which to me seems fictional because I come from the South, where if you ask someone for $1, they will give you that dollar. Um, some people in Florida you might need to convince, but then again, those people also come from places around New York. By the way, because in the end, it's just $1. Why not provide happiness for $1? I mean, why not? But anyway, so that's what collective is, and then like everyone in Green Society works with each other. I was hesitant on I was thinking about adding military to this, but I figured military is not part of the government. The military is, I mean, like the military is not part of the government. It doesn't fit in this list. The military is very important to Green and Blue. Um, I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, it's not even. I mean, you could. I mean, the thing about Green and Blue is it doesn't need to be civilian-led military like the United States is. If you are a general in the military, you can be on a council either of a city or on the main council. Like for example, Durr is part of the military. He's a Durr's hero, part of a special team. It's a separation between military and leadership doesn't quite exist for Green and Blue. Which, by the way, if you're wanting a more normal faction that's not Green and Blue, I would suggest waiting for my video on the Unity. The Unity in the Derverse, well, the physical version of Unity in the Derverse, would be, it's going to be more like your standard sci-fi faction. Think Unity, think GDI, think Federation, think Federation from Gundam, stuff like that. They're more American space style, which, of course, when you think about it, when you think about it, you cringe until you realize American space means epic diversity. If the writers actually put epic diversity in the thing, because, like for example, what I'm thinking for the Unity uniforms is that you can wear any uniform from Earth's past. Like for example, it would be uncommon for someone to be wearing a United States uniform from the 1960s, with in the Navy, or a United States uniform from the 1960s with a Japanese uniform from let's say the 1930s, or a Russian uniform from Russian uniform from the 1910s, or a French uniform from the 1800s. And basically, as long as it denotes rank, well, pretty much in India, as long as you put rank stuff on it, and as long as it, like for example, if it's a historical uniform, like for example, you cannot dress as a general if you are a private. It doesn't work that way. And what I was going for, speaking of what I was going for with the Green and Blue rank system, is it's not all related to any military. Why? Because A, I was kind of going for that theme, and B, for the very practical reason of it's a MegaCorp. It's a MegaCorp spawning in the near future. Think about it this way. Can you think about it this way? If a MegaCorp existed right now in 2018, what will I have to do in order to exist? And those are the problems I'm facing. If it immediately showed up and acted like a complete military, would it survive to the next? Would it survive to the next sunrise? Or would it be wiped out by practically everybody in every single way imaginable? Um, However, if you make it more like a game, no one's gonna care about you. You're gonna be nothing. You're not military. Um, so yeah. And yeah, I mean, basically all of these faction bios for Derverse, like I was going for a government style, and I was going for a government style, and then build a faction out of it. I made a faction that exists in the world, that exists in this world. You can see the timeline overview for more details. That exists in this world, and then just the government style spawned off it. A good example would be the Eastern Coalition. A really good example is the Eastern Coalition. Like for example like for example in sci-fi franchises, um, for example in sci-fi franchises or even fantasy, um, they typically have issues with making an entire society based out of one government structure. Um, I decided to make an entire society, and then just call it a name, just stamp it with a name later. Sorry, I left the door open. And stamp it with a name later. Anyway, we probably should up the video, so we will. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think in the comments. And how did you like my new voices? I really can't record new with people in vicinity. And how'd you like the new voices? I mean, I never had a reading voice before I got one for this video, and I'll continue with it. And I'll probably continue with it with Green&Blue walkthrough videos as well. Um, so yeah, and yeah, I think like my main writing style, at least for info dumps, is gonna be more like a poetic approach. Like it's not a poem; it's poetic. It's like a poem that doesn't rhyme. A really good example is the Easter Coalition. I mean, it's the second time doing that style. But and pretty much. Oh, by the way, format. The format of these faction bios is name of the faction, date of operation, pretty much a single line description of the faction, and basically just a big, basically like a story-esque bio, like a really, like it doesn't the length. There's no length. It's just a story-esque bio, where it reads like a story and is your bio. Like pretty much imagine like an info dump in the modern style where info dumps don't really exist. They give it to you in normal gameplay or throughout the book. Whereas it's an info style. It's an info dump done in a you're reading as a story style, which I think is actually pretty original. Now I think about it, by the way. And then after that, you get the faction Bible stuff where you get basically the facts and nothing else. A small description of extra facts, and then that's it. Alright, by the way, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and by the way, and if you, thanks for watching. I'd appreciate if you were to subscribe to my Patreon. I'll take off on my livings to afford me taking the time to do this sort of thing. Um, my normal videos, not like this, not like these don't get views to an extent, but yeah. And also the faction, uh, and also for Patreon, I will do more with the Derverse and their story and their story. Like for example, may have an animated series, a CGI animated series, or do a game or two. Thinking about using RPG Maker v something or other Lite, which is a trial version. Well, it's pretty much like a full version, and just mess around with it and see if I can make a game. See if I can make a game that would fit the Derverse that way, and then just do a series of games just for why not reasons. Just for why not reasons. But that would take a lot of time, and I'm still hammering out the world. So yeah, we'll see. But funding will help me bring the story to life. Will help me bring the story to life in visual or game form. Not like games are visual, of course. But anyway, so that'll be it for this video. And by the way, if you can support me, on Patreon, can't support me on Patreon, or simply don't want to, being my watching on YouTube is more than amazing. So thank you all. Take time another day to watch these videos. Love y'all. Alright, so that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I guess see you in